everything we do in our human experience is to evolve. It is to expand and to realize ourselves more and more. As we expand and realize ourselves more, we expand the universe, and that's the reason for everything. So some of us mistake that for doing a lot of work, as in labor, but the primary work we do as a human being here on planet Earth, having a human experience, is to do the inner work, to realize and create ourselves. And that is something that requires hope, belief, and faith in ourselves and in the source of energy that creates everything. It's a co-creation between you and the source energy, God, love, and hope is the precursor to belief, and a continuous belief turns into faith. And it's like hope is, I guess, belief is, yeah, I'm starting to think that this is possible. And then you have faith, which is knowing. So guess, I think, yeah, I think so. I know so. And the way I see it is hope, guess, is you acquiring information and material as to begin to create. And belief is the forging, bang bang, creating, molding. And then when that has been a part of what it is actually creating for a certain period of time, you are created. You are self-created as to where you are right now. And then you know, by feeling secure and comfortable in a state of confidence, and you let all doubt just vanish. You don't doubt yourself anymore. If you are an unfinished product, you need to get your stuff together. You need to create yourself if you feel like you are nothing. And to believe in yourself is to co-create with the universe as you get inspiration and as you begin to mold and forge yourself into your desired expression, which can be whatever. But I believe that the most giving, the most rewarding is to become yourself, not to become anybody else. You can mold and forge and create and believe in yourself as to become an image of something that you are not, and you can become that. But then you are living a lie, as you are not the same on stage as in outside in life as you are at home with yourself. So I believe the greatest success is to create yourself to just be who you are wherever you are. That's sounds like a good idea to me, because then you don't have to fake anything. Then you can just be who you are. And when you feel comfortable in that, when you are believing yourself, and as you are ridding yourself of resistance, which is speaking against you, then you have a knowing in who you are. And that's actually the part that leads up to faith, which is you having the creation, which is you, and you hand that over in surrender to the source, to God, to love, in complete trust. It is like a trust fall in love. That's faith. Because having a belief for something requires energy and effort as you maintain that belief. You continue to have that thought. A belief is just a thought that you continue to think, and then you think that often enough and it becomes a conviction. And when you are convinced regarding your own belief, you will know that this is something. You will feel that this is a knowing, and then it's time to let it go. Because otherwise you keep forging, you keep banging, you keep molding, and then you don't release it. So you keep it, and you're telling the universe, I'm not ready yet. So it's not like I'm done, as in completed human being standing there in perfection, as in arrived. That's never gonna happen for any human being ever. You're never done. It's always an unfolding and development and an evolution, just like anything else. But we go through stages and we come to certain points when we feel like this is as far as I can go with what I have created right here. Now I need to advance, and that requires me being pushed, as in delivered, to connect further, as to evolve more. And that is something that the universe, that God enables as you release yourself, as you are in faith to feel ready as what you have created and where you are in your perception of yourself as of right now. Then God needs to take over. Source, the universe needs to take over, which means that you hand over yourself. You are the creation. It's like you have a CD with your demo song or an MP3 file, and you send that to the record label. Then you've released it, and then it's up to everything else to make that a hit or not, stemming from your own conviction, self-love, and faith in yourself, because that will be reflected outside of you in the world. And that's you as a person as well. The song is just an extension of who you are. That creation is an expression of who you are. So it's bound to you. And the demo that you are sending out is actually you. You are the demo, because you're not gonna arrive and you're not gonna be finished. You are under development. Your life is unfolding. But it's like, this is the best expression song of me as I feel that I can produce where I am right now. And I need to be delivered and sent out to the world as to expand and become more, to be connected. And then you need faith. Then you need to feel secure and ready in relation to yourself. Because you get what you give. And the universe is waiting for you. The universe has all the connections. God has all the connections. Everything is already mapped out. Your destiny is already, it's more or less you being in agreement with how things are actually functioning, having a human experience, co-creating together with God, just to release yourself. Hope, I guess. Belief, yeah, I think so. Faith, I know so. I know. What's gonna happen? What's it gonna be? How it's gonna look like? No idea. How big? No idea. Is the hit single gonna be something that makes me tour in Japan? Or is it gonna be something that makes me a local celebrity and I play that song live on the pizzeria here, 2 kilometers away? I don't know. And you are the song. As you create yourself. The creation, the expression. Feels like I'm talking about the same thing here all the time. But that's also, it is the same thing. I want to tell you the story. I have told this in another video. And it's about a writer, a coach, inspirational figure, Joe Vitale, who sold a lot of books and was having great success with stuff he was doing. And then he had a novel he sent to a publisher and he never got any word back. And I think it was after 6 years, he began to wonder whatever happened to that piece. So he began reading it, and it was a bit unfamiliar and not exactly in the line of his usual way of expressing himself. So it was a different kind of flavor and nuance as to his usual expression. So he was feeling a bit off with his own creation, which is a bit off in relation to himself. So he began reading it and learned to appreciate it and love it, which is appreciating and loving that part of himself, as the creation is him and he is the creation. There's just no separation between these things. And the publisher called and said, "We're sorry it took so long, but we read your novel and we love it and we want to release it." And that's no coincidence. That's his connection to the source energy. Source energy, God, love, was waiting on him to approve of himself and his expression. The novel is like it's just an extension. It's like a song or a muffin or a sweater or whatever. But he approved and he loved and found appreciation in his own development and expansion of himself, coming to love with that particular nuance of himself. And he told the universe he was ready. And the universe responded with making that connection with the publisher, with all of that timing, and they called and everything. There is no coincidence happening in the world like this. There are no coincidences. everything is a co-creation between you and God. Source energy, love. Some people I've heard are a bit negative when it comes to coaching and selling hope. But if you think about it, somebody who sells hope to people, you can view those as selling empty promises, but they're not. They're actually igniting a bit of a spark inside people that is perhaps missing because they doubt themselves so much. And then it's up to them to fuel that spark so it becomes more of a flame as to be a belief in themselves. And then it becomes like a super strong fire, energy in faith as they create and believe in themselves. So the person that initially didn't even have a spark and needed a bit of hope from somebody else that developed a strong belief and faith became the coach. So they came as a lost human being to a coach, and then they went through everything themselves as to strengthen themselves in believing their own unique, authentic expression and co-creating with the universe. And then they come out the other end and they become the coach. It's just like when the student is, what is that? When the student is done, the master disappears, or what is it? The student becomes the master. And the master is not submissive. The master is not above. The master is not supernatural in relation to everybody else. It's just mastering your own emotions, mastering your own expressions, having a climate and environment and atmosphere within yourself that you actually are in control of. But as you release control as well. Because if you aren't releasing control, then you are holding on to an outcome, and then you are not in faith. So to give it up, it's like a suicide and a success is the same thing, only in contrast of each other. And everything has to do with control. So a person killing themselves is somebody refusing to let go of control and trying to control everything. And they control everything to the extent that they actually control the outcome as to whether they live or die, and they kill themselves. That's holding on to control. And if you have somebody who reaches great success, is actually in a loving co-creation with the universe, which eventually becomes letting go of control in complete trust to a source that is all loving, which is hard for the ego. It's hard for the ego to let go, to surrender. But that's only in disbelief, not believing that God is love. That source energy is pure loving consciousness. That's the difficulty in the surrendering part, which is a part of the development and unfolding. as to deepen that relationship and actually feel that this wants me well. You don't have to put a name on it. Love wants me well. Love wants me to have it all. Love wants to give me everything I dream of. Love wants to support me as much as possible. Love would never deceive me. Love would never backstab me. Love would never cheat on me. But we come from a background where people have betrayed us and we have betrayed ourselves. So we have a bit of a hard time trusting love. But that's a misconception of what love is. Because pure, unconditional love is all love, all support, all positive, all good. This video is supposed to be about hope, belief, and faith. I feel that it is, but I also blab on about surrounding things. But to keep the faith, keep faith. I feel that every time I keep the faith, as in relaxing, things work out. Having a strong belief is more of a tension, a workout for the mind. Thinking, believing. Faith is more like it's more like because it's giving it up. It's surrendering, handing over yourself to God and saying, I trust you completely, God. I know that you want me well. I know that you have the most perfect destiny for me. I know that you have a path for me and connections for me that will be a life that I will enjoy a lot, because I will feel that I am contributing, and that will give me satisfaction. And you know deep inside what I love, and you want to give me all of that. So I relax and I let you play me. I allow myself to be an instrument of love, and just play me, God. Play me. Place me, play me. That's surrendering. That's faith. I love you. Have a nice life. Bye.